Aibuan, and what a wonderful way to start the day. I think I still have heart palpitation from the energy, the passion, and the incredible performance we saw today, both by the music, but also by the sports. Fabulous. I mean, I still have goosebumps just watching it. And I just promise I'll never upset a Sri Lankan. I mean, I will, after seeing the Angampara, wow. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, last year when I was told that I will be posted to Sri Lanka, I was overjoyed because I still retain wonderful memories of the country from my youth when I traveled here with my mother. And my lifelong love for nature and wildlife started in Sri Lanka, a place we in Egypt used to call Serendip, with lots of magical imagination about this beautiful country. And today, I'm privileged to travel and to see so many parts of the country. I'm captivated and continue to be captivated by the natural beauty, by the diversity of the landscape, by the rich biodiversity, and of course, the fantastic warmth of the Sri Lankans. This morning, as I stand before all of you from the tourism sectors, leaders, innovators, aspiring leaders, I share your passion to both show the showcase of the beauty of Sri Lanka to the world and equally to protect and preserve it for the future generation. And I would like to touch on 3 key issues. First, tourism as a channel for protecting the environment. Second, the importance of sustainable tourism within the context of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And third, the important role of young people in tourism. The first on tourism and environment. We know the potential of tourism as one of the fastest growing economic sectors in the world. Tourism is increasingly recognized as a vital contributor to job and poverty alleviation, to wealth creation, to economic growth, helping millions of people to escape poverty and improve their livelihood. Tourism is also a vehicle for environmental protection. I believe that the tourism sector here in Sri Lanka and all of you have the potential to make a meaningful difference to the protection of natural resources and against climate change. You can do this, both in terms of raising awareness and taking real action. Because if we don't, our future generation will not forgive us. Many of you would have seen the powerful speech by Greta Thunberg, the 16-year-old climate change activist, as she challenged and shamed all of us to wake up and start taking concrete action to fight climate change and save this planet for the future generation. We need to meet our present needs. We need to do that, but without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their needs. This is the essence of sustainable development. The tourism industry, by its nature, is highly sensitive and susceptible to disturbing conditions such as disasters, terrorism. Ensuring efficient operation of the tourism industry under rising incidents of climate hazards need carefully planned adaptation measures. Improving nature-based tourism and recreational activities would encourage the local community to protect their environment as they provide livelihood for many people. Stakeholders in the tourism sector in Sri Lanka could be encouraged more strongly to take into consideration environmental friendly ways to preserve ecosystem and share responsibility with other national and local agencies in managing ecosystems. The second point I would like to touch on is around sustainable tourism and the SDGs. Globally, the demand for sustainable tourism is on the rise. The growing trend among consumers for ethical and sustainable products experiences indicates a continued ascent, which means we can no longer consider sustainable tourism offerings as a choice. Similar to the stance taken by the Sri Lankan apparel industry in the offering of garments without guilt, the tourism sector as a whole needs to focus marketing Sri Lanka as not only a desirable destination because of its natural beauty, culture, and heritage, but also differentiating it as a sustainable destination in one of the most competitive global sectors. I believe that the harnessing of tourism positive contribution to sustainable development and the mitigating sector adverse effects call for a strong partnership and decisive action by all the tourism stakeholders. Therefore, conferences like this, like the one you're hosting today, are very important because they bring stakeholders together, giving you all time to reflect, to share ideas, and build partnership. My third point is around the potential role of young people in tourism. And as I look around the room, I'm so excited to see so many young people, all of us, huh? But I mean, there are younger and youngest and, you know, but all of us, who will take the tourism sector forward. Young people are the present, but they're also the future. Developing plans and policies without them is a futile exercise. They need to be the front and the center for the discussions. They are the ones, whether we like it or not, with the fresh ideas and the most at stake in terms of sustainability of the planet and the tourism sector. Young people are important in two ways. First, here in Sri Lanka, you have access to 4.4 million young people. These young people need to be provided with gainful employment, and their contributions to the sector will be immense. There is a need to provide them with the skills, training, opportunities to thrive within a dynamic and fast-growing industry. Second, across the world, young people who are the most thirsty to travel. They are seeking new experiences and looking to broaden their horizons. They serve not only as your potential clientele, they are your best marketeers. The social generation is seeking the perfect sunset, the most picturesque view, which illustrates their ever-present wanderlust. Sri Lanka had done well on this front, having been named one of the most Instagrammable locations in the world. Did you know that? The potential of young people as leaders and drivers for the tourism sector and the potential customers need to be taken very strongly into account in order for sustainable tourism in Sri Lanka to thrive. The recent report by the WTO illustrates the importance of potential sustainable tourism as an effective means of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. The report identifies key elements of sustainable development which tourism stands to make a significant and lasting contribution. Two of these areas are specifically relevant to Sri Lanka. First, social inclusiveness, employment, and poverty reduction. We need to pursue greater inclusiveness through tourism, with a focus on women's empowerment, youth engagement, and support for local communities. A sustainable development agenda requires policies that leave no one behind. Second, A focus on enhancing tourism's contribution to mutual understanding, peace, and security. Tourism has the potential to advance this culture of peace and global citizenship. On this last point, I believe Sri Lanka has much to contribute. As a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multilingual country, you showcase the diversity of our world today. In a world which is becoming increasingly insular with policies that seek to build walls and divide communities, I believe tourism has the power to foster peace and intercultural understanding. With over 1.2 billion people now crossing international borders every year, tourism represents a golden opportunity to break down the barriers of ignorance and prejudice. Let us all come together to build a strong partnerships to help create a world of mutual understanding through tourism, while at the same time building strong partnership and ensure the protection of our environment. This is our hope to ensure growth and development that is inclusive and sustainable. I believe all of you here in this room have the potential and are the right vehicles to drive forward this agenda. And I invite you all to partner with the United Nations family in Sri Lanka as you move forward towards a sustainable tourism sector in Sri Lanka. Thank you all very much.